Monster Truck Challenge in Fishersville, Virginia. Down to 4, Kris Chapman matches them up.
This semifinal round may very well decide the national points champion. It's going to be number 1, David Morris in the equalizer, against Gary Porter in the Carolina Crusher, who's in the number 2 position. That winner is going to go on and face either Nightlife or Mad Dog. We'll see.
Last week, the Monster Smash Finals here on Tuff Trax in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, had the equalizer and Carolina Crusher going head-to-head. And you know, for the most part, over the last month or two, equalizers had the better of it, Army.
That's the reason they stepped up on the horsepower of the Carolina Crusher on this run. Equalizer lost his steering, but held on for the win. Look at that, the last half of the race, no steering at all. That kid has got what it takes to be a monster truck champion.
Well, right now, he hopes to do it again, but this is not the final this time, so the winner here really is going to pick up a big advantage. He's not only going to get this victory, then he'll have a chance to go on and try and win the Monster Smash Final in just a few moments. Now, it's obvious as we come in that Carolina Crusher doesn't look real good. He's kind of puffing.
A little blue smoke coming out of the engine. That could just be from the jetting. He's coming out of the back of the truck, indicates he had a heating problem on the vehicle. Equalize. He goes through, but something fell off the bottom of that truck. He's trying to shut it down on the big end. Whoa, all safe in Fishersville for now.
That was just wild. There's blue smoke coming from Crusher. Then, as you mentioned, Army, something fell off the equalizer, and now he's smoking. Couldn't stop. Carolina Crusher's got it in reverse, backing to get to the pit area.
That's an indication he's got some kind of drivetrain problem. He's not able to go forward. He's got to back out. Well, that's a tough break for that kid, but it's a good break for that kid right there.
But he's calling for a hook, too. Equalizer, obviously, with a problem, as he will need some help to get off the track. Let's find out from David Morris just what the problem is.
7.79 seconds.
Well, David Morris, realistically, that run right there could have won you the national championship.
Yeah, I needed that win bad, and I was ready to do anything to get it. Got a little squirrely down here. Had to get a whole lot of RPM on the engine that time. I slung another power steering belt also.
Is that where the smoke's coming from?
No, I set the line so long that my motor got hot on me, so I'm going to let it cool down and everything be ready to go.
The Mad Dog with the new driver, if you will, Bob Breen, driving, substituting for brother John Breen, because between the two of them, they like the way he attacks this course with all that power. He's going up against Dave Wysorek in Nightlife. Now, Army, these two met a couple of weeks ago. These two trucks with John driving. Here's how it went.
Well, this will give you some idea of the driving style. Keep an eye on Wysorek on the far side. He's a strong finisher. This kid I just can't get over how good he is. He won one big event this year in Houston. Right now he's trying to work his way back into the winning mode in Fishersville.
Dave Wysorek got that win over John Breen and Mad Dog. Let's see how he does with Bob Breen and Mad Dog.
That kid is so smooth, you can never count him out. He's going to the final.
Dave Wysorek and Nightlife will meet Equalizer in the championship. That brings up the question, how bad does Dave Wysorek want Equalizer in the Monster Smash?
Real bad. I'd like to beat him. He's a tough truck to beat, and it's #1. I'd like to beat the #1 truck.
Challenge has come down to the Monster Smash Final. That's Dave Wysorek from Grand Island, Nebraska. His Nightlife is at the starting line. As you can see, his opponent is not. That's the Equalizer. David Morris's truck is still in the pits. Truck owner Gary Cook and everybody he can get to help working on it, trying to get it ready. Now, this is obviously a great opportunity for the Nightlife. Dave Wysorek.
The Equalizer has 5 minutes to get to the starting line.
Right now, the line crew, Al Goss, is telling Porter he may not be out of this thing. He's going to have to get back to his truck and go on a standby status. That's the word he gets right now.
Gary Porter and Carolina Crusher may not be done, but either way, we asked him after he lost to the Equalizer in the semifinals if putting a bigger engine in this late in the season was a mistake.
Gary Porter, you made the big change in order to pull in that championship going into the engine. You went big horsepower. Assess it for me now. It didn't look like it was the way to go.
Well, I think it will be. We had the last 2 weeks, I would put a new motor in. It's 1,200 horsepower. It's about 400 more than what I had. And I was expecting to break, something to find a weak link in the truck. And I know what it is now. I'll go home and straighten it out.
What is the weak link?
I think it was the intermediate shaft in the transmission. I lost all forward gears, and I still had to reverse.
Does the truck feel good to you?
It feels real good. It's entirely different driving, and that injection is so responsive. I'm having to sort of get used to driving it again, but I really like the motor.
At Fishersville, the clock is still ticking. Can Equalizer make it to the finals? Yes, indeed, the engine is fired, and Equalizer will make it to race against Nightlife. It is the Monster Smash, the Equalizer, the Nightlife. The finals coming up from Fishersville, Virginia, here on Tuff Trax. Nightlife pulled in the starting line for the Monster Smash final. It's showtime.
Two young guns going head-to-head. They go over the first jump side by side. Equalizer starts to pull out a little bit. I believe the Equalizer, Scott.
Very close, though, Army. Equalizer gets the win, and it looks like less than a wheel's length. We're going to go to the timing tape and see if we can see just how close in a still frame that race really was. At the finish line, David Morrison, the Equalizer. Boy, that's a great seat for it. You can see by just the length of a wheel, David Morrison, the Equalizer, may very well have locked up the World Championship. Army Armstrong's with your winner, David Morris, the Equalizer.
Well, David Morris with the Equalizer. You're stretching that national point lead out. An 8-second run in the final. Looked awfully good.
Well, it didn't feel as good as some of my other earlier runs. I had trouble getting to the line at the time. I had a cylinder that was foul, the plug was foul, and I got a little squirrely, got a little sliding in the middle of the cars, but I just did get back on it hard enough to pull the wind out.
How about this kid with the Nightlife truck? You can't roll over on him. He's going to come after you every time, isn't he?
That's right. He'll be there.
What about the points chase? You know, we've been talking about it. You've been chasing all year long. It's been up and down. We're down to the final events of the year. This is it. Your rookie year, you are the national points leader. What's going through your mind right now? Can you bump these big guys off, these veterans?
Yeah, I can. It's going to be all on whether I can keep the truck going. We can keep it all together working fine, and I can keep doing a good job of driving. If I can do that and the truck runs great, we'll take it.
Thanks, Army. Here are the new point standings, and Equalizer has lengthened his lead from 30 to 36 points over Carolina Crusher. USA 1 gained only 5 points tonight, and Gravedigger only 3. Nightlife moved closer to Gravedigger by earning 19 points. The distance between Mad Dog and No Problem was 21 points, and still is 21. Wild Hare and Clydesdale now are tied for 9th. Scott Douglas, what's in store for Tuff Trax fans next week?
Well, Kris, the Gravedigger will be back. Can he bounce back and get a victory? We'll find out. USA 1 beaten today by Buffalo Tremor. Vengeance on the mind of Steve Wilkie and the USA 1 team. They'll match up with Buffalo Tremor and John Kwasniewski again next week. And hey, we'll also get to see the Thunder Chicken and the Buffalo Tremor in a barnyard brawl.
Tell you what, Johnny K out of New York is starting to make a name for himself. These people know that he's in the sport. Could he put his first win under his belt? Will it be Fishersville? Next week's going to tell a story.
Also next week, Army on the TNT All-American Pulling Series. We're back in Bowling Green, Ohio. The beautiful two-wheel drive class. Ken Lamont's Plano Toolbox's Midnight Express trying to chase down Ray Carpenter and the Sundance Kid for the National Points Championship. You'll see them both in action along with the best in the world from Bowling Green next week here on Tuff Trax. What a show that's going to be, and what a show this has been. With the victory going to David Morris, the Equalizer gets the win in Fishersville, Virginia, knocking off Nightlife in the Monster Smash Finals, and that means the silver flag, significant of this week's Tuff Trax winner, stays on the back bumper of the Equalizer. For Army Armstrong and Kris Chapman, I'm Scott Douglas. That'll do it for this week. See you next week on Tuff Trax.